It is wonderful to join you today at the Children's Learning Center here at Howard Community College, and it didn't hit me until I was on my way in. The nostalgia of having my girls come here when they were very young. It is such a wonderful place, and with my eldest, who is 21, you can see 20 years later, it's still a moving thing, and that's one of the reasons why we're here today. In Howard County, we remain committed to ensuring the best quality of life and educational environment, not merely overall, but for all. And that begins with our youngest members of our community who are taking their first steps into a brighter future. Across our nation, childcare options for infants and toddlers have diminished and become more expensive since the COVID-19 pandemic. Howard County is home to nearly 20,000 children under 5 years old. However, we have only approximately 10,000 childcare spots offered by family and center-based programs throughout our county. Simply put, we need more quality childcare placement opportunities for our children under the age of 5. Moreover, approximately 1 in 5 childcare jobs have been lost, and many centers have closed, compounding the need. The Children's Learning Center where we have gathered today was one of the centers that we lost during COVID, eliminating the critical source of childcare for our community. And Howard County is not unique in experiencing this challenge. Counties across our great nation are grappling with the same need to grow childcare jobs, increase support to community daycares, and create spaces for more quality care for our children. We are taking action to address the childcare crisis head on. Last year, we invested $3 million with our Department of Recreation and Parks to reduce our wait list for before and after care programs offered by the department. And this funding has allowed Recreation and Parks to hire an additional 40 childcare employees and accept more than 400 additional children, growing our programs dramatically. And to date, we have eliminated 16 wait lists for our before care and after care programs across Howard County. We are also taking major steps to implement the blueprint for Maryland's future. In just 2 years, we have invested $23 million to renovate and restore the Faulkner Ridge Center, which will become a new regional pre-K center with approximately 260 seats available once complete. This will place us above the curve for universal pre-K. In my fiscal year 25 budget, we committed an additional $3.5 million to the Howard County Public School System to convert nearly every elementary school half-day pre-K program into a full-day pre-K program. And the number of full-day pre-K slots in our school system has grown from approximately 300 in the 21-22 school year to now more than 940 in the upcoming 24-25 school year. In tandem with the future opening of the Faulkner Ridge Center, these investments will ensure that every eligible 4-year-old will be able to attend full-day pre-K in Howard County. I want to thank the County Council, Board of Education, and Superintendent Barnes, as well as our state partners, for their leadership and partnership in this incredible progress. These investments demonstrate tremendous and necessary progress, but we recognize there is more work to be done to meet these childcare needs of our working families and our workforce. Howard County has a significant lack of availability for infants, toddlers, and 2-year-olds. Numerous parents are scrambling to find safe and affordable daycare for their baby, but too many wait months for that opportunity. Many centers have wait lists that are 6 months or longer for an infant. And too many of our parents are left anxious and scrambling to have to piecemeal their daycare needs while juggling going back to work. Parents working 2 and 3 jobs just to make ends meet, to have childcare as an added stressor, forcing them to juggle impossibly. We needed a giant leap to build our infrastructure for the future and to help our youngest residents. And Howard County has never offered early Head Start for children ages 0 to 2 until now. This year alone, the CAC's early childhood education program had to turn away 70 of our children from eligible families because they were too young to enroll in Head Start. And this important part of our child care continuum is often the most expensive type of child care, requiring more caregiving staff and greater resources to administer. And I'm pleased to announce today that we are taking that giant leap forward for our children, that giant leap forward for our working parents, and that giant leap forward for our community by launching Howard County's very first early Head Start program for children ages 0 to 2. In partnership with the Community Action Council of Howard County, we will open 5 new child care classrooms to serve infants, toddlers, and 2-year-olds. 3 of these early Head Start classrooms will be located here at the Children's Learning Center at Howard Community College. And 2 classrooms will be located at the Ellicott City Early Childhood Education Center on High Ridge Road. Together, these classrooms will empower us to offer free and low-cost infant and toddler care for nearly 50 additional children in Howard County. To open, sustain, and grow these classrooms over the next 2 years, I'm committing $750,000 in pandemic relief funds to the Community Action Council of Howard County. At both the Children's Learning Center and the Ellicott City Center, these classrooms will complement existing Head Start and child care classrooms for 3, 4, and 5-year-olds so that parents don't have to coordinate separate care for their newborns and other older siblings. More families will have access to the quality, affordable child care they need for their children. More parents and caregivers will be able to return to the workforce and provide for their families. And more working families and young people will have even more support to grow and thrive. I want to thank Tracy Broccolino, president of the Community Action Council, and her team for their steadfast partnership and impact in our community. As Howard County's sole Head Start provider, CAC has never backed down from their mission and their commitment to provide affordable child care and resources to our families. I also want to thank Howard Community College President Dr. Daria Willis for her vision, tenacity, and collaboration to reopen this vital child care center. Without her and her team, this never would have been possible. And lastly, I want to thank my Blueprint Resources Work Group, who have been tasked with assessing the long-term fiscal impact of the Blueprint for Maryland's future. Part of their work includes awareness that we aggressively expand universal pre-K, infant toddler care, and receive the proper support. Today, we're helping more of our kids take their first steps into a world-class educational environment. This is a major step in our child care commitment to support families, empower providers, invest in our workforce, and create spaces for more quality care for our children. I look forward to our continued partnership and the work ahead as we continue to grow the very best future for all. Thank you.
Today is truly special. I'm going to try not to get too emotional. But first, before I begin my remarks, I want to thank our Board of Trustees, because this would not be possible without their support. So members of the Board of Trustees for Howard Community College, we have Dr. Carl Perkins. Please raise your hand and stand, please. Trustee Feli Sola Carter. The chair of our board, Mr. Sean Keller. And Trustee Vivian Moore Lawyer. and also former trustee who was in my ear about this as well, Dr. Mamie Perkins. They have provided the support needed to bring this reopening to fruition. And why this is incredibly special for me, I was 19 when I had my first kid. She's now 20. I can't believe it, so that means I'm getting old. But she attended a campus child care center. I remember what it was like to be pregnant on a college campus and to be nearly invisible, and to not have anyone pay attention to the fact that I had this kid that I needed support for. And it was someone who came up to me later and said, we have this child care center on campus. She can be in pre-K, she can do all of the things, and she can learn anything and everything that we teach all of the rest of the children. And that has what has led my lyric to being with us still on the college campus today. My second child, my son Izzy, he was also on a campus child care center. And so what I'm trying to illustrate for you all is why this is so important is because we are the community's college, number one. This is what we are supposed to be doing. But number two, we're not just here to give and provide associate degrees or training or certifications, but education starts from the littlest moments of life. And that's what we are doing here with this Children's Learning Center. I especially want to thank Tracy Broccolino for being with me every step of the way to make this happen, because it takes the support of community to keep something like this within the college's grounds. I want to also thank Dr. Ty Stone and her team in facilities. Can y'all raise your hand? All of our facilities folks. They have worked incredibly hard over the past several months to get this place up and running. When I first started at HCC and toured the Children's Learning Center, it did not look like this. And so they have done such a beautiful job to get this up and running. And finally, I want to thank Dr. Calvin Ball. At every step of the way, he has been there for HCC. Any crazy idea that I come up with and call and say, can we do this? He always finds an answer to yes for it. And look at the beauty that we have today. And hopefully when things reopen in August, we'll bring you all back for a much more festive time. But thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. This will definitely change the trajectory of so many lives in this community for many years to come. Thank you again, and just looking forward to an awesome reopening and the expansion of the CAC's work in Howard County.
On behalf of the Community Action Council of Howard County, welcome and thank you so much for being here, setting aside time on your Friday afternoon on this beautiful day. Thank you so much. As CAC, the county's designated anti-poverty organization for nearly 60 years. You know, our birthday's in the spring. We're so excited. Watch out, it's a big party coming. Mark your calendars. We enable self-sufficiency and diminish poverty for every Howard County individual, family, and child in need. Before I begin, as I should, right, we want to give a special welcome, of course, to our CAC board members and staff. So without them, we couldn't have celebrations like this. They are constantly working hard to the bone and letting me bother them constantly, as I know we do, right? We're like, hey, what are you doing? You want to do this? So if you are a board member, raise your hand, or stand up if you're sitting. Stand up. Let's go. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Our incoming chair, Reverend Turner, thank you so much. You see what you have your work cut out for you. Yeah. And my staff, I see so many of them over there. Everybody wave. There they are. All right. Thank you so much. So for nearly 6 decades, CAC has stood as the beacon to meet unmet community needs. We have assisted generations of families in fulfilling the design of community action, birthed in 1964 as part of a nationwide movement to end poverty. But we still, obviously, have collective work to do and systems to change. CAC continues to pave the way through partnerships like this with HCC and our county executive to make positive change. Along with our housing, energy, food assistance, our statewide weatherization program, CAC has proudly been providing no-cost, high-quality early childhood education since 1979. Isn't that crazy? Long time. Some of you weren't even born, just letting you know. All right, but that's a long time. All right. The need for early childhood education, though, has reached a critical state. You heard our beloved Dr. Ball mention this. Childcare expenses rival the cost of housing for many of our families. Space is at a premium. It's very difficult to find. And Howard County Public Schools is, at the ready to try to meet those blueprint requirements. If you don't know what they are, you should take a look. It's Pillar 1. Take a look, all right? As the county's sole Head Start grantee and pre-K blueprint partner with our school system, CAC is a strategic partner. We leverage local, state, and federal resources to address our community's need for early childhood education. But there is more to be done, always, right? Always. Fiscal year to date, you heard Dr. Ball mention it, we have denied enrollment to 70 children in households that their older siblings are with us, but 70 of them are too young for us. Another 35 families were denied enrollment because they earned just above the Head Start federal poverty guidelines. Just let that sink in for a minute. If you don't know what they are, a family of 4 cannot make more than $31,200. I'll just let you think about that for a little bit. To address that, CAC is proud to be here to announce this expansion of our early childhood education program. By adding infant, toddler, and 2-year-old care across our programs and at this beautiful, take a look in the classrooms, the work that's been done here. I mean, you could cut that out and put it in a magazine, right? This beautiful, soon-to-be-open Children's Learning Center is just the beginning of this beautiful partnership between HCC, Dr. Ball's office, our community partners, to address the need for low to no cost early childhood care in our community. We are truly grateful for this partnership with Dr. Willis, her entire team, Dr. Ball, and many others who joined CAC to address this mission. Thank you so much. We're so excited. Get ready if you want to hold babies, sign up to volunteer. It's great. So thank you so much.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. This is a beautiful day. I mean, when you're standing up here and looking at all these smiling faces and so many folks in the community who helped make this day possible, it is really amazing to feel the level of support amongst our community for this wonderful occasion. And this is really important, as many of the speakers had mentioned. When it comes to our children, this and having support and resources for our children are incredibly important, especially at a young age. As a father of a 2-year-old, I know how difficult it is for many families to be able to find childcare. And while we're fortunate to have the means, there are so many out there that are struggling to be able to find adequate childcare, especially after the pandemic, where we've seen thousands of childcare providers leave, and we've seen many, many childcare centers have to close down as well. And so that need is huge. As Tracy mentioned, here in Howard County, it's really remarkable when you think about a county as well off as Howard County. The need continues to be there, and it's really difficult for many parents to be able to support childcare needs when they know that the expenses of childcare are just rising and rising and rising, and those positions and slots simply aren't there. And that's why centers like this are so incredibly important. As a state legislator serving on the committee that really pulled together the Blueprint for Maryland's Future, the landmark legislation that really helped set up and establish a recognition that we need to have early childhood centers and positions available for children across the state, especially in the 0 to 2 age range. We're really pleased to be able to see this come to fruition. This is what we envisioned, community partners coming together with the county, with the community college, with local nonprofits like Community Action Council, and a shout out to many of my colleagues on the CAC board that I see are here, who've been incredibly supportive to Tracy as she's updated us every month as part of the board on the ongoing work to make this happen. But this is the partnership that many of us in the legislature, when we looked at the Blueprint for Maryland's Future, had envisioned as to how this would really come together. And so, really credit goes to all of you as community partners, that we wouldn't be here to be able to celebrate and commemorate this important occasion if it weren't for all of your support. CAC has done a lot in the childcare space, and through Tracy's leadership and Beta Dayhoff's before, have really spearheaded efforts when it comes to Head Start. And many folks don't realize that Head Start is not simply childcare. that there are a whole bunch of wraparound services that come with Head Start. And I know there are many staff from CAC who are here and can talk to them and understand what else is involved in being able to support Head Start and being able to provide those wraparound services for all of those families, because it's really remarkable when you think about it and how much we support those families in need. And so to Dr. Willis and the Howard Community College, this is a really important and wonderful day. I remember a couple years ago when I got a call that the Childhood Learning Center would be closing down. And it was really heartbreaking to be able to hear. And we heard from many folks in the community who were saddened to see the center close. But through partnerships like this, being able to pull resources together, to be able to work together, to put our collective effort and support into being able to reopen a center like this is incredibly amazing just a few years later, and that's a testament to your leadership and the support of your board as well to be able to make this happen. So thank you so much, and also to the county, to County Executive Ball, just tremendous leadership to be able to see the investment that we have here in this center, and to early childhood centers across the county, to be able to see new classrooms open up, to have additional 50 additional students being able to be brought in to support them and their families in times of need, and to be able to help elevate them, because we know, and we've seen this from the Head Start data as well, that what happens during early childhood, that period of early childhood is incredibly important, that it really defines the rest of the lives for these children, that we still have folks that come back to us every year that were Head Start children and tell us how they were impacted, how their families were supported. And years later, they remember that. And that affects generations to come. That affects their children and subsequent family members as well. And so this is a really important occasion. I want to, again, just credit everyone for this incredible partnership from CAC, the community college, the county, state delegation folks, county council to be able to make this happen. Thank you so much. This is a wonderful occasion. Looking forward to having all the little ones come in and their smiling faces to join all of ours here. Thank you so much.
It is really exciting to be here. This is celebratory on so many levels. So I am Jessica Feldmark. It is my honor and pleasure to represent District 12A, where we are today, in the House of Delegates. And in the House of Delegates, I serve on the Ways and Means Committee. And I raise that because, as Senator Lamb mentioned, on the House side, the Ways and Means Committee deals with education policy. So we dealt with the blueprint. It was my first year as a delegate that we took up the blueprint. We like to start strong, which is a good metaphor for Head Start, right? Start strong. And, you know, I think it is not an understatement or exaggeration at all to use the word crisis when we talk about childcare in Maryland. It really is a crisis. And we in the legislature are doing a lot of work to try to address that crisis. And we spent a lot of quality time with our friends at CAC and others this session. You know, the blueprint was an important milestone, and now it's about implementation. Right? And there are a lot of issues that need to be addressed. And recognizing also that the blueprint deals with universal pre-K, which is so important because we know 90% of brain development happens by age 5, but the overwhelming majority of that has already occurred by age 3, which is why I'm so excited to see early Head Start. And so we've worked on trying to make childcare more affordable, increasing access to childcare scholarships, making it easier for providers to start childcare businesses, making it easier for employers to partner and get their employees access to childcare. All of this is a concerted effort, right? We have to work from every angle. Now, in addition to dealing with the sort of education policy side of things in Ways and Means, I also am very proud to be the representative from the House of Delegates to the Maryland State Department of Education's Office of Child Care Advisory Council. So I hear at every meeting from providers how all the things we're doing in Annapolis are making their lives impossible and what we need to fix. And it's such an important process, because that is where we see where sometimes pieces of implementation get missed. And that's why we're back every year, so we can make adjustments as needed and improve the process, right? But it's those providers. It's the providers who make it happen, whether it is an in-home family child care provider, whether it's a center, a local business providing at a center, our nonprofits like CAC, and our institutions like Howard Community College stepping up to be a provider. It's not an easy business to be in, so I want to say thank you to everyone who's stepping up to provide childcare. It really is critical. So we know that early access to quality childcare improves lifelong outcomes, not just educational outcomes. We talk about school readiness, and that's great, but we're not just talking about educational outcomes, right? We are talking about lifelong changes, crime reduction, lifelong earning increase, improvements in lifelong health outcomes, all from access to early child care. So if that's not enough, let's talk about the economics, right? If you're not already persuaded, let's talk about the economics. So I have the pleasure of serving on OCC's advisory council. I also have the pleasure of chairing the revenues subcommittee. And so when we look at childcare, it's not just a social issue for the children and families participating in these programs. It's an economic issue, right? Childcare is the industry that supports every industry in our economy, right? So 49% of parents with children ages 5 and under reported short-term disruptions to employment due to childcare issues. 49%. And those are short-term disruptions, so that doesn't even count the parents who gave up and said, I just can't work, right? So those short-term interruptions, again, not even counting the parents who are not in our workforce because they can't find affordable quality childcare. Those short-term interruptions account for over $2.4 billion in cost to Maryland employers every year. $2.4 billion to our local economy. And that's over $117 million in direct state revenue that's lost because of the lack of childcare. So if it doesn't get your heart, it should at least get your balance sheet, right? This is such a tremendous step forward. This is such a tremendous step forward, and I am so excited. Congratulations. Thank you again, and I can't wait to come visit.
Wow, just wow. It is so exciting to be here. Thank you, Angela. And to all the partners in the room, particularly Dr. Willis and Community Action Council, thank you for all of your work to bring this to fruition. I, too, remember all of those calls that came when the doors here were closing and all the meetings, all by Zoom at that point in time, right? We were all around the cameras talking to each other about the importance that this space held in this community and to the people who were in these walls. So while school is out and summer has just begun, we are really excited to be in this space of education on this wonderful campus, talking about the importance of learning early on and supporting our early childhood population, because we know, and we've already heard from everyone else, how important it is in a child's development that those first 3 years really mean to their lives. The Department of Community Resources and Services is thrilled to be a part of this community and this opening today because increasing access to quality early child care and education environments throughout this county is central to our mission and one of the core tenets of our Office of Children and Families. For over 25 years, the Office of Children and Families has housed the office's Child Care Resource Center, and it has supported Howard County's early childhood community to provide training, education, and resource and referral services to child care families throughout this county. Working together, we have enjoyed a long-standing relationship and partnership with the Community Action Council. So thank you, Tracy. And we are your little sister because we turned 50 in 2025. So you got us by 10 years, but we're surprise. So, we are so excited to support and continue to support Community Action Council and support the Head Start program. We work together across this county to advance initiatives on behalf of Head Start and Head Start families in order to educate and enrich the lives of our very youngest. Through our Resource Center, we've been able to provide on-site professional development for all Head Start staff, offering over 18 hours of training to them a year to make sure they are able to be their very best and we can support them through it. And our staff are embedded in the Head Start classrooms to provide consultation and coaching to help early childhood educators build skills and to work with their students. Our staff works also one-on-one with Head Start families to navigate Maryland's Child Care Scholarship process to ensure they can continue to have access. Together today, with Tracy and her team, and with HCC and Dr. Willis and your team, this wonderful center will be able to ensure that more children across this county have access to quality, developmentally appropriate services, early care, and education. And that is a huge win for all of us. And for so many of the community college students who are juggling that very delicate three-legged stool of parenthood, education, and employment. This will be a life support. A testament to your story and your commitment, Dr. Willis, and all that you've already opened the door for. This will be able to support them with childcare access and community resources surrounding them for family success throughout generations. You are truly making a difference. This expansion will not only help the children, but encourage their parents to live their dreams, complete their degrees, and lead them to stable, long-lasting success in this community and throughout the world, because dragons are everywhere. Thank you, Dr. Ball, for your support, your vision, and your investment. Tracy and Dr. Willis, thank you and congratulations. We are so happy to be a partner, and we stand ready to serve. Thank you all.
As you heard Senator Dr. Lamb say, what we do is more than just childcare. The Community Action Council has become a model for the two-generational approach, with over a decade of work providing whole family support to promote family stability, reduce stressors, and connect families to critical resources in the community. This approach promotes whole family well-being and enables social and economic mobility while getting children socially, emotionally, and academically ready for kindergarten and beyond. CAC has the capacity to serve 362 children and their families in our full-day, year-round program in 4 locations. And where you're standing right now will be our 5th location in just 9 weeks. Community Action, in partnership with Howard Community College, is excited and proud to expand our capacity to this location. Don't worry, we promise we'll invite you back in a couple weeks for a real party, as Tracy said. CAC's highly qualified teachers and family service workers, as well as staff, support our children through one of the most critical points of human development, as you heard Delegate Feldmark say, that brain development happens early and young, and it's our time to help shape it and improve their trajectory in their future. Our team is beyond proud to partner with the team here in the great work that's been done, and we will expand the circles that our families have access to. We know education makes a huge difference in enabling social and economic mobility for the entire family. We also know that exceptional early childhood education puts children on a trajectory to lifelong success. So thank you, Dr. Baugh. We're very excited for these announcements. And thank you to HCC and the CAC team for the work we've done to get us this far. And we have more work ahead of us, but we're really, really excited to see what this becomes. Thank you.
My name is Georgina Garcia. My son Carla is a student at the Ellicott City Childhood Education Center. My daughter Catalina, who just graduated from kindergarten, went through the program last year. Community Action Council of Howard County Early Childhood Education Program has provided my children with foundation to be successful in school and beyond. The amazing teachers and staff provided academic instruction, enrichment, and support every day for a full year. That means I don't have to worry about summer camp. In fact, yesterday, as part of the summer enrichment program, Carlos and his classmate got to experience a petting farm. So excited about it. I love what CAC program has done for my children. I also appreciate what they have done for me and my family. Additional resources like dedicated family service worker before and after care service and caring community have helped us more than I can say, as well as the support we receive after my husband's accident. The Community Action Council is the best kept secret in Howard County. Their early childhood education program has been so important for my family. I know other families benefit from this housing energy, weather station program, and of course, the Howard County Food Bank. It is partnership like this one being celebrated today in organizations like the Community Action Council that truly makes Howard County a place to work, live, and play for all families. Thank you.